Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We are starting this episode off in the gym because, I mean, this is a fitness channel, so we are in the gym. We are in for leg day. This is the first leg day of the week, which is going to be deadlift variation workout. So hamstring focused, hamstring glute focused, with a little bit of quads at the end. Starting off with some rack pulls.
But first, let me take a selfie.
So ladies and gentlemen, right into a leg workout. I hope everyone is enjoying the video so far. Please don't forget to give it a like, comment and subscribe. Hit that notification bell as well. So going straight into things, how I'm warming up for this session. I'm doing mainly some hamstring and some glute exercises to get things firing. It's quite important to make sure that you're not just firing that muscle, but you also feel like that muscle is warmed up. Joints around that muscle are warmed up and you're really feeling like the movement is ergonomic. It just feels a bit natural for you. So if it's not feeling right, then there's probably something that you need to change. So I've taken out deadlifts and put in rack pulls just to change up the kind of portion of the movement which I'm working. So I'm isolating more the top half of a deadlift in this exercise, and obviously you can take things a little bit heavier on a rack pull. So this is 190, I believe I got it for 5, I think, and I did 3 sets of 5. It's a brilliant exercise just to be able to strengthen a portion of the deadlift, so I would recommend that you try it out in some of your exercise cycles. This is a variation of the Bulgarian split squat, obviously using the Smith machine. Before, I've done this exercise using dumbbells. I've done this exercise supported using 1 dumbbell, and this rotation I'm doing it on the Smith machine. To be honest, I do find like the Bulgarian split squat for me is kind of better than just a regular squat. As you probably know, I have issues with my knees, so finding exercises that work can be difficult. Now, this is a stiff leg deadlift basically, and it's funny, whenever I look back at footage, I never notice things going on in my gym because obviously I'm completely oblivious to it. And when I've got my headphones in, the world goes out, you know, kind of thing. So, yeah, it's funny looking back at footage. Looking jacked. Oh! Competition ready this year. And then finally, I've obviously put in some other calf isolations, but they're a bit boring to watch. So finally, I put in this, which is occluded hamstring curls superset with occluded walking lunges. Now, if you haven't tried occlusion training, I've probably mentioned it a few times, but I do highly recommend that you try it. It is a brilliant way to increase a lot of metabolic stress in the muscle without using high amounts of load, and you can work through failure on these exercises with more safety because you're not using such high weight, but still you get a lot of hypertrophic response. So you really blast your hamstrings. I think I did like 17 reps and then go straight into walking lunges for 20 reps. Now, how I'm going to progress this movement, hang on a second, here comes Gav and he can't resist. So how to progress this movement, I would add a little bit of weight to these walking lunges, not crazy amount of weight, but just a little bit, and then also progress weight on the hamstring curl.
Let me take a selfie.
Yeah, we're at Friday and I've got quite a lot of stuff to put into today, so content's going to be alright. However, today is a mega busy day, so we'll see how it goes. Okay, so I haven't really recorded any of my session, but I'm on to my forearm work, so I thought I would show you guys what I do for my forearms. We're back with another voiceover because I find like just putting music to gym videos is a bit boring to watch, and also it's a bit of like, okay, just easy content. But anyway, so forearm training. I haven't actually done forearm training isolated for a long time, but I was looking over some pictures. I was like, I could really do with a little bit more girth on the forearms, so I've added in some isolations. The first exercise there was wrist curls with a barbell. Yes, in the squat rack, sue me. Then the next exercise is a dumbbell hammer curl Obviously this works our biceps as well as our forearms, so a good little variation to be able to add into any sort of bicep exercise. If you're trying to grow your arms and you just want to grow a little bit of biceps and then also work some forearms, then this is a good exercise to kind of hit both areas. Try and make sure that you're gripping the dumbbells as hard as you can to get more forearm activation and take out any momentum. Then we've got overhand barbell curls. I don't actually like this exercise too much because I find that a lot of the time your wrist end up hurting, so I might take this out, or I might just use an easy bar. Well, goodness me, you wouldn't believe the day I've had. It has been a hell of a busy day, but it's actually 8:15 now, in the evening, and I thought, for the sake of content, why not just show you an order that I got. Obviously completely not sponsored, but maybe some of you would like to know what kind of clothing I've ordered. I don't know, you know. People on the internet like strange things. So clearly it is ASOS, and the clothing that I've bought, now I have a confession to make. This is actually very well inspired by Connor Swift, who is my fashion crush on Instagram. Connor Swift was one of the first companies, Swift Athletics, which sponsored me, so shout out to Connor Swift, RIP Swift Athletics. Please start it up again, Connor, it was awesome. So we've got a pair of jeans, a shirt, and a pair of shoes, and they all look like this. Now, this definitely isn't something which I would usually wear, which is why when I saw Connor wearing it, I thought, that's quite out there, that outfit. But I quite liked it. It was something a little bit different, something a little bit new. And first off, I'm definitely gonna have to send these jeans back. They're pretty damn tight. The rest of the outfit, I quite dig. I quite like the looser style of shirt, but still fairly clean around the arms. Probably do it up a little one more. I quite like that. I'm gonna have to get those inner socks because this feels gross. I don't know how people wear shoes without those little socks in them and just barefoot. It actually feels disgusting, but just ugh. Good morning, ladies and gents. I'm having one of those weeks where things are so busy and I feel like I look a little bit like shit because I don't have my hair cut in a while. I just don't feel like recording as much this week. Yesterday I looked back at the footage from the ASOS order. I'm sending it all back. That t-shirt looks way too big on me, so yeah, I'm gonna have to send that back today. And I was just about to set my pre-workout and intro workout up before I go and train a client and then train myself, and I remembered I had a very special package from someone from Instagram. So thank you very much, Steve. Let's open this up. And it is of course some pre-workouts. You gotta send them across to Pre-Workout Connoisseur, myself, to have them truly tested. So we've got a Bursting Berry from Thor Supplements, and then we've also got a Pink Lemonade, also from Thor Supplements, and they both say high caffeine content, so I'm gonna have a quick little look online to see what the actual dosage of caffeine is. Okay, so I found it through Instagram, and the content is 4 grams of glutamine, which, yeah, I'm not really sure why there's glutamine in it. Citrulline malate for a little bit of a pump, not really enough. There's 2.5 grams in there. Creatine monohydrate, 2 grams. Not really sure why you would put only 2 grams of creatine monohydrate. Beta-alanine, 1.3 grams. Again, pretty low dosage. Betaine, 1.5 grams, again low dosage. L-taurizine, 0.6, taurine 1 gram, beetroot extract 0.2 grams, AKG 2 grams, caffeine 160 milligrams, and then some black pepper extract to help absorb that. All in all, not really the best looking panel, if I'm completely honest. It says amazing taste, insane pump, provides a long-lasting energy, professional performance, no crash. Well, you definitely expect no crash with 160 milligrams of caffeine. Insane pump, we will see. There's not really many ingredients in there that are actually clinically dosed, but the truth is in the pudding, as they say. So let's give it a go. We will go with pink lemonade. Now, I always do suggest having a little look at panels and things, especially on sample packets. Something with like a very, very high caffeine content, you probably don't want to be taking, I'm just going to cut this open. You probably don't want to be taking something with a very high caffeine content if you're not used to that, especially if you're going to be going and training legs. It smells like pink lemonade. Just give it a go. Now, obviously, for the sake of testing this pre-workout, I can't mix in with anything else. We'll do a dab test. Okay, yeah. They weren't lying about the flavour. That is a very, very nice pink lemonade flavour. You did well. I am skeptical, so that's kind of a good thing to be going into with a pre-workout. Is be a little bit skeptical. I could do with some good performance today, as I didn't really sleep well last night, so hopefully that measly 160 milligrams of caffeine hits me hard. Of course, as with everything that I review, I'm going to be brutally honest. If I don't find that it's a good pre-workout, I'm not going to say, hey, this is a brilliant pre-workout, please buy my shit, because obviously I get absolutely nothing from this. A guy on Instagram called Steve sent me this. I'm not affiliated with the company. I'm not affiliated with Steve, he's just a nice guy, so I will be brutally honest. Ain't no catches going on here. Not gonna be getting rich off commission. Okay, so the final thoughts on the pre-workout Thor supplements. Considering the amount of caffeine in it, the energy in the session was pretty good, which is kind of the ideal situation really. You don't want to be having lots of caffeine in your system all the time, and a lot of people become very tolerant to caffeine very easily. So in the ideal pre-workout, you want to be able to get lots of energy, or enough energy, with not very much caffeine. So in that side of things, that's good. However, energy did feel like it kind of dropped off a little bit too soon. I was in the gym for about an hour and 20 minutes, and I felt the last kind of 30 minutes were a bit, you know, I felt a little bit into a slump. You kind of get that feeling where your music doesn't sound quite so good, and you just kind of start to drop off a little bit in energy. Pump was decent. Pump was very good. I actually got quite a good pump. I got a pump in my forearms when I was training legs, but that was mainly on the RDLs where I was like gripping on. So decent pump, nothing spectacular with the pump, just decent. Overall, I think it's a good pre-workout if you don't want like a crazy amount of stimulants, and a decent pump. So yeah, that's that would be my final result of Thor supplements. I think it was called Preodin. It was a pretty cool name, quite like that. I looked back some of the footage of this vlog so far, and I was like, there's not really a subject to this video, so I thought I would touch on a subject in which I got through Instagram at 7030fitness, shameless plug, from a young dude who basically spoke a little bit about Gyno. He didn't actually know what it was when he first said it to me. He was like, dude, I think I got something going wrong with my nipples. And obviously a sensitive subject, so I'm not gonna put his name in here, but this was actually something when I was growing up, I was like, oh shit, like I had these hard things behind my nipples. I was like, I've got guys breast cancer. I generally thought I had like nipple cancer or something. And it's actually quite a natural, like quite a common and natural thing. It's basically where your hormones, when you're growing up, when you're going through your teenage stage, your hormones basically just ramp up and go quite high, and your body's just kind of adapting to that. So you have like a slight imbalance in your testosterone and estrogen levels. So you can get like more fatty tissue behind your nipple, which creates gyno. Now this guy had it particularly bad, but something that it can happen more, like I think it happens more nowadays because of people's diets changing and things like that, and I don't really know the science behind that, but I think because this is just me like kind of guesstimating, because we have a lot more trans fats in our diet. Trans fats can, like our body naturally produces trans fats, we don't actually have a need for them, but because of that our hormones are maybe being produced a little bit higher when we're going through a teenage stage. That's a little bit of speculation, I don't know. Anyway, so this guy obviously came to me. He was a bit distressed. He was like, dude, I think there's something wrong with me. And first off I said to him, look, it's probably nothing, like send me a picture, which is obviously a bit weird with a guy on the internet, but I was like, send me a picture, I think I probably know what it is, but just to double check, I think it's gyno. And he's like, shit, what's gyno, what's happening? So I explained to him, you know, it's about a hormone imbalance, and that generally with most people, after you get out of like the teenage stage, your body just sorts it out, and you can get operations to have it removed in like very extreme cases, but in general, like just it sucks, but you just have to get over it for a little while, and then your body kind of deals with it. Something I used to do, I used to hate wearing like t-shirts because it would like show through. So something I used to do was I'd wear like a vest underneath, and that can kind of like just hide it a little bit. But also it's just understand, like there's probably going to be a few people out there that like look at you and be like, yeah, I know what that is, and I've had it before in the past or something. Or there's going to be a few people that look at you and be like, dude, you got big nipples. It's just one of those things. People don't know, so they just assume for different things. And also you can get gyno from taking anabolic steroids. So this was a while back, but I remember when David Lade was coming up in the fitness industry, he had gyno, and everyone was like, oh shit, look, he's got a gyno, he must be taking steroids. That's not the case. Like, a lot of teenagers, and he was a teenager at the time, get gyno and then it goes. So although, again, like, the reason it happens, especially with people taking testosterone, is because your hormones are out of whack. So if you are getting gyno whilst on steroids, then you need to get your bloods checked and all the rest of it sorted out. I don't know massive amount of information on that, so seek professional advice. That would be my advice on that. But for guys who aren't taking steroids and you just have it because you're just growing up with it, it'll sort itself out. Don't worry. You haven't got nipple cancer.